Hi everybody, today is February 22nd, 2024, and I hope everybody's doing great. I thought I would just do a really quick video on the topic of Tommy and drugs. I get a lot of messages from people that have either got off drugs or are on drugs and wanted to specifically know how Tommy handled the situation. The situation is that, yeah, Tommy was on drugs. He didn't hide the fact that he was on drugs. He got onto the heavy, hardcore drugs as soon as he was kicked out of boxing. He even writes about it in his book called Tommy, My Darkest Years, that you can still buy. I'll put a link above for it. And he explains why he was on drugs and the effects of the drugs on him. And I'll go ahead and I'll read a couple of the pages for you. But I will be doing a more of an in-depth interview with someone, and we'll just do it about drugs and Tommy. He wanted the world to know that, yeah, he became a drug addict, a very hardcore drug addict. It wasn't easy for him to get off it, but in the end, he did. And that's the part that the media don't like to talk about, is that there is hope for people that are on heavy, hardcore drugs to eventually get to a rehab stage and situation and have the support that they need and grow up, basically, and grow out of doing drugs. I'll go into the syringes that I found and what I did about that. So it wasn't easy. None of that was easy, but we made it. We made it happen, and he was as happy as anything. And in fact, when he got his negative results everywhere from his drug rehab place, he would put it in the car, he would put it on the fridge, he would put it by the bed. You know, he just wanted to remind himself that he won the battle against his so-called demons. So let me read you a couple of pages, and then perhaps you can click on the link above. I did do an interview with Dan from the UK, a little bit on how the start of drug rehab began. This was a few years ago. Anyway, this is Tommy writing. During the 32-month period that I really hit it hard, man, I didn't really mind being by myself. When I was using, I hated being alone. That's when the devil attacks you. I was a disciplined Spartan athlete that didn't cut any corners. Always took care of myself. Like any high school kid, drunk beer on the weekends. I pinned myself up during boxing. Totally dedicated. Everything got taken away. So that's the beginning of when he really went down. So now it's time to have fun. A situation you talk yourself into. Everybody does it. I'm human. Drugs are too important to me now. Everyone thought I was dying of AIDS. Not so. I was losing weight based on my drug diet. I remember feeling alone all the time. I mean, all the time. I remember loving to go to sleep. Glad when this shit wears off so I can go to sleep. Exhausted with staying up 2 to 3 days. Partly because I did it was so that I could go to sleep. When you are in that position and you literally can feel what people are thinking, who wants to go out? People slowly clearing out the room when I walked in. That was hurtful. I had to have something to fill the void. So he turned to drugs to fill the void. Then the second page, and I'll read it real quick for you. Drugs control you. I didn't have to buy drugs. Friends, right, just gave them to me. I hung out with the wrong crowd. I thought they were friends. I never used to get involved in anything I could not walk away from. I had a room in my house where I would just hang out for days, strung out on drugs, not wanting to be disturbed and not wanting to live. Crystal meth numbed me, allowed me not to think about what people were saying about me. I was completely dismantled. I did marijuana and oxycodone pain pills. Synthetic heroin. I got the same reaction as if I was taking heroin. Too hardcore. Cocaine scared me, makes you sleepy. You might never wake up, numbs the heart. You can die from it. it was a big eye-opener for me to be around those guys that were effed up. Big question, was I like that? Did I really look like that now? Drugs control you. The Bible talks about that. It takes the place of God. In prison, I prayed a lot. I didn't want to think about that time being all spun out. So I hope you'll follow. I hope you'll click the link above and watch my interview with Dan. And when I do a new interview, I will post that too, because I think it's so... It was a big eye-opener for me to be around those guys that were effed up. Big question, was I like that? Did I really look like that now? Drugs control you. The Bible talks about that. It takes the place of God. In prison, I prayed a lot. I didn't want to think about that time being all spun out. So I hope you'll follow. I hope you'll click the link above and watch my interview with Dan. And when I do a new interview, I will post that too, because I think it's so important that, you know, you don't need syringes. You don't need to be around people that are sending you syringes, that there is hope and that you can get off drugs. And Tommy said, if I can just save one person, he knows that he did his job. And I really believe somebody out there will be listening and will take note of how Tommy did it. Not necessarily something that everybody can do, but definitely the way Tommy dived into it and did it was amazing. And people need to know about that. All right, well, you have a great day and take care. Bye.